cuz.
It's for your birthday?
No. Chad. Oh, you. Kyle. You want to wait for me.
What you got?
You want to wait?
Got something stuck in the back.
You want to wait for me?
Oh, I know there. There's the Crisco kid.
What are you doing?
How's my little boy tonight? Huh? How's my little boy tonight? Huh? Happy. How you doing? Did you see him come give me a kiss? He does it all the time. Since that one night he decided it wasn't so bad. He's done it ever since.
Part that goes out.
He's
And then it has
surprised,
a
huh?
Chase.
board in.
Like you forgot I
There's bars
was
Chasey.
by. There's a piece of solid tubing.
Sid, call Chase.
Jace. Hi. You want me to kiss? You want me to kiss? Go. Come on. Do it.
Oh, thank you. I got one of these last night,
And the
too.
guy that had the sawcross pieces are thrown away at Craftsman saw it work.
The video on
Came and saw it.
Mrs. Davis. Say hi, Uncle Randy. Are you gonna smile? Are you gonna smile? Yeah.
You gonna talk?
I think it'll almost be a year
Come on.
and he'll be home.
Talk.
I'm sorry, so
When you're having fun,
time flies when you don't have fun.
Shannon.
You get up in the morning and...
Say hi to Uncle Randy. Tell him how old you are now.
Being down here.
Shannon.
Chase.
How old are you?
Shannon, you want to put...
Yeah, plus we're gonna put us in the living room. She wants to do a paint. Really?
Chad.
Pink cherry. Oh, you won't know how much this pink grade stuff costs. Huh?
Shannon.
Hard to have a lane.
Christopher is a fox.
It's a lawyer. Something happened. He's got a real one about that bigger. It's commercial stuff, you know, real. Yeah, kind of like indoor, outdoor.
Yeah,
but
can I
real
play with that?
heavy.
Want a kiss? Put on a kiss.
Jeez.
So can I.
When you were here before, though, he was going through that period of time of doing everything.
Wanna wave to John? Wave.
Wait. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
We got burned on carpet, that's why
Here he comes.
You can say up, Randy. Give Randy a discourse on up. We have.
Hey. Chase.
I mean, there was no doubt about Mama.
Blow kiss.
She wasn't even there to hear.
Blow me kiss.
What a bunch of dummies.
Your dad.
Danny, that's not nice. Sit, dummy.
There's a good pose.
Dummy.
Babe.
Kurt, Chad, and Chris, you sit down and fold your arms. It's family night now.
Okay, we have your attention. Charlene, what song are you going to sing?
So you designed Fulton?
I'll sing something your grandchildren will know.
Well, then I
know
don't know
that.
any.
That was in a children's program.
What was it?
Child of God.
That was in the children's program? Well, let's sing it.
Do it then.
One verse?
She only knows the first verse, she doesn't know the
Right up.
Okay. Let's see, Kirk, will you lead music, please? Come on. Stand right there so Charlene can see you. And there, so we complete whole meal, like everything you want. It's just things to survive on. And they said that it's been the most fun thing for their family to practice it.
He said they had their packs all lined up there with the brother.
Kids. But they said it's been a lot of fun. They said if you want to have fun, just start doing this with your kids. Just take it and just have an emergency, plan an emergency. We're going to go out here, emergency's over here, we're going to get away from that emergency, we're going to go over here, and we're going to stay there for 3 or 4 days. And they
actually stay there?
They actually stay there, live off their packs and stuff.
Well, they told us about, what, 2, 3 years ago, they told us, they said, fix it in a garbage can and just grab the garbage can, put it in your car, you know.
The general authorities are now saying you can't depend on the cars.
I know, so I've got mine.
They say.
But what we took and put in there.
Well, the general authorities said don't use packs, don't depend on cars. They say. Some emergency, the cars cannot work.
Well, there's a lot of, we have an earthquake like they say we're gonna have in Utah and Salt Lake. I think we'll be there.
A lot of people say
Said to us kids one day, he said, how are you kids coming with your food stories? And we said, well, we are, Uncle Harold, we just don't have the money to buy extra food. He said, yes, you do. Let me tell you how. He said, you go to the store with $5, then those days you could get cheap. You could get a big bunch of groceries. And he says, you go to the food store with $5. And you won't go right to the stand with and know that the whole $5 is gone. What you want to do is when you have that 25 cents or something like that left, I want you to go right back to the counter, to the grocery store, and buy you some canned meat or canned vegetables or something like that, and don't eat it. You take that home and put it on your food storage. He said, and I promise you in a few months you'll be able to have enough that you'll be able to buy the case. And we did. We did exactly what way he instructed us. And we put it on the shelf. It wasn't long before we was buying by the case. But just those, like he said, most people, instead of going back and getting it, what they can with what is left over, they'll go to a show or spend it on ice cream or some silly thing. He said, don't do it. You do this, and we did. We found everything he told us to do. We found it out on the tin words.
If you want to have some fun, try and be a relief society.
I
My mother was one for years and years and years. And they wouldn't come and ask, they just come and tell.
We'd like to urge you to really be concerned about the year supply. How many have the year supply?
I got 2.
You got 2, huh?
Oh, well, then we have 1.
How many could exist for a month? Totally.
May not like what we're existing on, but we could exist.
I think water would be our biggest problem.
Always fright the dog.
Let me tell you something. I took a class under the BYU on food storage. And they told us, they said, put dried milk away. Dried milk.
You gotta have water to do dried milk, right?
Not always. You could put that in. You can use it with water, but I mean you can
Store dehydrated water.
Jolene, I put dry milk in my bread.
I say store dehydrated water.
But what I was going to say, they told us, they said, don't ever throw your dried milk away. It can stink to high heavy and it'll just really smell strong and nasty, but don't ever throw it away. Because dried milk does not spoil.
If it's stinking, it's not.
They said it'll turn a kind of yellowish color and like that, but it Will not.
And what do you do with
We use it like
Mine, I've got
Fish
some.
uses it in bread.
I've got some now
Heard you say that.
that is kind of yellow. I've had it for years. I am using it now, and then I'm going to maybe get some new to replace it. And
But it doesn't affect the taste of your bread.
not a bit. And
That makes the bread taste better.
Just your attitude, though.
in fact, it laps. It's got so hard to lap. So I take a roll and break it up. Roll it. But it will not hurt.
You know, I don't know if you've been listening to the news lately or not. About the last month, they've been talking about how the banks are charging higher interest rates. Okay. The last month, they've been talking about higher interest rates and how they're going higher. The last time this happened was back in the 70s. This is where things really got tight. And they figure that each time this happens, things get tighter. And I've heard them talking, they keep talking about the big problem that's going to happen. They all anticipate like the big problem we had back in the 20s. He said everything that's happening in the financial world right now almost identical to what happened in the 20s. They're really concerned that they make family, they really put forth the efforts to see that we have something put away.
Yeah, I say something. Another thing to do on food storage, be sure that you date everything in your canned goods, and you know, for bottles I've been down here are dated because I always, like today, if you would go and buy some lunch meat, you go back in that food storage and pull out the old and put the new in and put your date on it, so that you keep it reversed, then you don't have to throw it away. So many people said, well, I put food storage away, and it's all bows. The cans are bows, and I've had to throw it away. It's their fault because they didn't date it, and they are not rotating it.
Another reason this happens is, and they've cautioned us on doing this, and that is, don't buy specials.
No.
Don't buy one.
Help me find the way. Teach me all that I must do. Someday. That was good.
Your daddy grew a beard like that?
I like everybody talking about these.
Oh, there's your ice cream.
I love it.
You like that one? I like the new one, and the other like the other one, so.
There's Carrie.
Helped you a lot, didn't it?
It goes like this.
Oh, I like
A
it.
big piece.
Well, how exciting.
Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Oh, you got me too? Both you got me, huh?
Sure, leave that alone.
Hey, what's this? Is this the tummy? Is this the tummy, huh?
Happy Thanksgiving, Brenda.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Amber. Sherry. Hannah. What's your name? Shannon.
Mommy.
Hi.
I got a kiss in your mom.
We'll get women in their natural setting.
Oh, no, we miss Randy, but. Is this for Randy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look busy.
Where's Linda to keep track of what I'm not taking it.
You guys get another drink?
I promise, I'm not taking it.
This is the women's place.
It should be in the bottom of the drawer.
Only in this opinion.
Where does this one go? Okay. Sure. Oh, sure.
Hi, Grandpa.
You women do what you do best.
I got an egg.
Casey.
Sorry, Randy, he wants a
Yeah, right here. Let's see.
Hi, Grandma. Chad. Jason. Wave to me. Here's the MacKay family dinner, almost ready to be eaten.
You're better. But he's doing better than that. Is he breathing?
And this is bad light. Now zoom. This is good light. Charlene, this is for Randy. Now tell,
Hi, Randy.
give him a message.
This is Jay. Jay, this is Randy.
How do you do? Hi, Royce. Hi, Grandma.
Go back to Charlene, or just go back to Charlene.
Yesterday, and I said, he said he's going to talk to Lily, that to go into a private.
And here is the
Say hi to
lovely
Randy.
Jolie. Do you want me to?
I didn't know we were having a trip cocktail. You'll get in the back, though. That's why I never wear this out.
Randy, we sure love you. Wish you were here. It'll be good stuff.
Eat your heart out, right?
Yeah, eat your heart out, Randy.
Beginning this dinner.
Say hello to Randy.
Cheese.
Say cheese sauce.
Cheese sauce.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. I'm not around as much as everybody else, though.
Are you?
So they do pull you over because you've been drinking or
I
something?
can't remember.
Cute face. Just that face. Hey, Greg, you want to say something to Randy?
Hello, Randy.
Tallest or the shortest guy in the NBA? It's average height.
7'6"?
No.
Oh, I'll get the game.
That's one.
That's why he's so
See, the Rebels are playing, Randy.
Hey, that's about
Who are they playing?
Between a red tail and a Cooper Shark, man.
But then I love my yellow. I bet I hate it.
Do you have any messages for Randy?
Work harder.
Where did Carrie come? Hi, Carrie. Hi. She's so cute. Her hair's sticking straight up.
I like it.
Here's the new kitchen. We're having French dip, potato bar, shrimp salad. I think we're going to leave it in here.
All of it?
Well, just the
potatoes.
Yeah.
What we're having for dinner.
That's mean, Brent.
Someone in California. Or really? You come in this way, you basketball, you go shoot a couple
Let's eat.
Oh, what a play.
Sorry, Randy, we're going to eat now. Let's
See
eat.
how well they mind? They do what? Let's eat. Go on.
They got a hoop in there.
How do they make the knives?
No, there's only 20 seconds left. How was that? Okay. Come on, Dennis. How do you make your eyes? Take the important.
So do we. We have a real fun.
I don't want to sit on a low chair though.
Well,
Well, I'm here.
Well, sit over here, Charlene.
these are
Sitting here? By me.
Oh, yeah.
You're out of what?
Whoa. These
You're
are
on
no
probation?
chairs.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying now.
Sometime we sit together.
Brenda needs to be-
Go out to dinner.
Fill out the reports.
I'll have to do that.
Don't leave.
You can't kiss me anymore, you're married,
That's
remember?
right.
I'm
Caroline?
waiting for you to take it off.
Oh, Greg. I don't want you to sit across from me.
Woo! Let's have an instant replay.
What happened?
Hurry, bless the food before somebody gets in trouble.
Oh, no, I just saw chasing Mom.
Yeah, we're having a hard time over here.
Because you were drunk.
When party, election party, and they invited me to come.
I think.
When Miller, all Miller's party also.
That's what you're missing.
Nobody else was.
Go see if the, here we have roast beef, French
Oh, don't you want it now, Mom?
salad, juice, fruit, cocktail. What is the crisp
It wasn't
lettuce?
me, usually when you get babies,
Leave early?
Sour
babies
cream.
automatically do that.
Salt and
Sydney.
pepper.
You go
Are
on,
those
just so you
honey type rolls there?
So does your date.
Dennis?
That's the only way he'll give me a kiss.
Rolls.
That is great.
Mine look too bad.
What is this?
I go for kiss.
Hey, Brenda and Greg.
That's it.
I looked
There's the cute couple.
Sit down here once.
What, Dawn?
Okay, when Mom and Andrew come in this, I'll say amen.
Hi, Grandma and Grandma. Uh-huh.
Let's just bless it.
You're the patriarch. Okay.
That's not him.
Brent, will you bless it, please?
Amen. Which prayer, 23?
42.
Too late.
Amen.
Amen. Pass the rolls.
We mutinied.
Dawn, what are you looking at?
It's gonna get worse if you go
Sounds like a lawsuit to me.
What do they call them?
Yeah.
Give her Bishop Beavers now?
Here's Stacy.
He's got to pay for some
Stacy,
construction.
Stacy.
look at Dawn.
You have to hold food up to get his attention.
Oh.
Hold some food up, Sid.
She's on Medicaid.
the hamburger.
She got one of those Sammy cards, I think.
Well, here he is. There he is.
Are you done with his stuff, Sid?
We just can't afford to stay in the apartment, you know, over separate. Gets his carpet done, they just has problems with it.
Told me you were making him a desk.
What kind of
He's her nice guy.
Is that desk in there the one on Charleston?
Look out, Grandma.
Honey on the table.
They come and go.
I had 2 already. Thank you, honey.
Oh, you
2 rolls.
Huh?
twerp.
Roll.
Here's the Christmas tree.
Get to lunch, Dawn.
Is Randy stocking up?
It's the third one over.
Third one which way?
Third one from the left.
1, 2, 3. There you are, Randy.
Get to light, Dawn.
You're
Good thing
gone,
I
but
had
not
that one
forgotten.
up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A little while later, one of the glass bulbs in the she popped and was chewing. Makes my gums itch.
Get some shots of the kitchen while no one's in here. That's where the table is now, and couch is over here now. New wallpaper, I'll show you that. Pretty neat, huh? That's the wall. And they're ordering, well, there's me. They're ordering blinds to go in the windows, yellow blinds. There's the washer and dryer, and there's the cabinets. MacKay Woodworking Incorporated. And here's the other side. Here we have the trash. I'll zoom on that. Trash.
Are you showing him the dish? No, show him the dishes.
No, that was the trash I zoomed in on.
Oh. No, it's the dishes.
The dishes? Okay.
Dishes. Tell them they're waiting.
We're going to leave these dishes here till you get back. Here is a dirty dish. More dirty dishes. Don't tell Charlene I'm doing this. Yes.
That's not his bathroom, this is. I mean, not his room, this is.
Oh, he gets the bathroom
He
now.
gets the bathroom.
Here's your ex room. Looks the same, huh? Charlene and all her men. She keeps her room really clean. I wish she'd come and clean my house. Here's the sink, Randy. This will throw you. This is a really neat sink. Garbage disposal. Sink. Isn't it neat? Let's see if I can get me again. Yeah, there's me. Hi, Randy. Hi, Randy. Is that you?
Mom said that.
Hi, is that you?
Daddy telling
Oh, yeah?
Was he telling you?
I have to remember that for work. Over at the store.
Oh.
Okay, while we're on here, who loaded the 6mm and got the cartridge stuck in it?
Oh, the one that Dad. What are you looking at me for?
Well, everyone was looking at me when it happened, and I didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Still like
I never even tried to load.
Did you do it?
I remember that Dad came out with that gun and said, "Who did this?"
Yeah, there's
And
a.
everybody looks at him. I like that commercial for that car.
Yeah, everyone looks at me.
That's because you
Remember that when that happened.
I do, because everyone was looking at me. There's a cartridge stuck in the 6mm, halfway jammed in there.
I remember the time we dressed Brett up like a girl. That was great. Sprague's having it on film. Yeah.
I'd like to see that picture.
We went over there one time and
Probably
saw
one of my best.
Was it Kirk that was all dressed up like a girl? You know?
really? That's a cute girl.
Here comes the smoke queen.
Actually, Chris
Stacy.
popped him off.
Hi, Randy. Hi, Uncle Randy.
He doesn't know what to
When did these
think.
dogs stop growing?
Uncle Randy.
When they're
Real big. Your
Almost
dog's
a
a lot
year.
bigger than mine.
A year. Well, a year they're still a puppy, but they're pretty much full grown.
Your dog's a lot bigger than mine.
Told ya.
His head's
Bigger than
His
Brent's?
head is. Looks like a grizzly. You know,
Don't
Jaws.
you remember their father?
Chris
Brought
walks
that
out
dog
the
outside.
front door.
Went over to Wayne.
I had to tell it's Colleen that, so she'll realize it wasn't.
I went over to Bacon's one time and Wayne just got back, driven the car home from seminary, and it was at Continental, I think, that. And, there's a den on the side. I said, "How did this den get here?" Wayne! And she starts chewing him out. Well, so I'm just kind of walking away. I see den on the other side of the car. I think, well, she must have done this one, so I'll just make her realize that it happens. I said, "Well, then who did this one over here?" She walks around.
Who was it that was counting dogs? Counting what?
Dogs. Sits crash. Royce was driving.
Royce wants to take my car to seminary. That's fine, just don't wake me up. All of a sudden you're...
Ran into a parked car.
Royce dogged and heat in front of Aiken's house, and Royce is watching him, and it's a
We
park.
were counting. 7, 8. Look up, there's that station wagon. Boom.
Were you with him?
Yeah. Let's count all the dogs out there.
That's all right. You can make it. I did. I should have said I could make it. I'm going someplace and I turn the wheel. I'm going real slow. Mom says, "You can make it." Huh? That front fender got all crinkled up. I didn't have my reflex down. I couldn't stop when I hit it. I just hit the gas. We were in this old blue station wagon. And Dad was teaching me how to drive. I just got my learner's permit. And we were driving along, and he'd say, "Emergency," and I'm supposed to take my foot and put it on the brake. And so we're driving around, and he goes, "Emergency," and I put my foot on the brake. Emergency. This one time I got my foot on the brake slowing down for a turn. And here's the dash, and Dad's sitting like this. And he goes, "Emergency!" My foot was already on the brake.
That had to really touch the brakes though.
I like the time he showed you how to drive in the snow.
See? Put your foot on the brakes and it just, you let off and it'll come back. It's starting to go off the car. You let off and it'll just come back. It'll come back. Boom!
The best part about that is those people backing out of the driveway looking at these Nevada license plates. You guys from Las Vegas don't know how to
Should have
drive.
seen the front wheel of that car bent like this. I had to take it down, have it all repaired. Took us.
It was an expensive lesson.
It sure was.
Yeah, we learned a lot.
Daddy did though.
My favorite is damn.
Mom.
No comment.
When did your dad?
Oh, you ever heard this one?
It wasn't his dad.
Last day of school before Christmas vacation, the Volkswagen was broken. All we had was a station wagon, and we're late. And Mom's in a hurry to get us to school. And this girl pulls out in front of her and just stops. Mom locks it up and hits right in her. Dennis goes, "It's all right, Mom." She goes, "Damn."
And Mom's favorite show?
1 week before Christmas, and I was just going to start my Christmas shopping.
What was Mom's favorite show?
Greatest American Hero.
Why? Because every time the guy wiped out when he was trying to land on his fly, he'd land, and the guy'd go, "Damn." Mom would laugh every time.
Yeah.
Hi, Carrie. Hi. Hi, Carrie.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I remember. You're supposed to go when you get old, remember?
Maybe that's where I learned those 3D words.
Dennis remembers it the best. You were taking us. You'd picked us up at school or something. You were taking us over to your house, and you were driving Mom's station wagon, and you were used to driving Grandpa's car with the clutch, but this one didn't have a clutch. It was automatic on the shifter, and we're right where the state corral used to be. You go, slam on the brake and throw it in the car. The car just stood on end.
There's kids flying over the seat hitting the dad.
It was fun, wasn't it?
And then she starts to back up and pulls off the road. Swearing the whole time.
I don't think that dash was cracked before that. It had padding on it. I think Roy said it the best. Kids flying over the seat.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Kind of like family vacation, huh?
Stunning his girl.
Grandpa's trunk?
His trunk?
Yeah. Grandma was driving. She was. Grandma was.
Scout day or whatever, it's on a Saturday, they have a big thing out there, and she had her brand new Lincoln Continental, and decided to go chasing lizards and ducks out of the pond. That was muddy. She locked me in her trunk on the way home. She wouldn't let me in her car.
Yeah, try that in the Scouts. Sid got his wreck. This is where Charlene wrecked Greg's car.
Baby smile.
This is where Greg wrecked my truck.
You got a record?
How old is she?
9.5 months.
See
That
what
would do
had an
bumper.
accident.
Kind of sink him. It feels better.
Oh, she does.
Don't do anything. I'm selling it tomorrow. I'm getting my... So we're out there driving around and we seen a merlin or something back there. And we're out there. It's on this side of the farms. We're driving along. There's a walk on one side and cement. Chunks of cement someone dumped off on the other side. And I didn't want to get too close to the walk. I afraid it might cave in. Driving along and Darren, I'm going to hit that. And he's looking, keep going, keep going, keep going. Big old scratch about this far along the side. We didn't say nothing. I was hoping nobody noticed. Apparently nobody did. I just, God.
Then there was a time.
Then me and Darren are out there trapping for Coopers. I got a Cooper's permit, and it's the day after New Year's, so it expires the day before. And we're out there on the other side of the church farm on the private road, and we thrown a pigeon on the Coopers, and it had gone down on it. We're sitting there. I'm looking in my mirror, and here comes Fishing Game. Me and Darren are going to slide down. It had those mirror windows on it. It was pulling. He goes driving by. I stuck it in reverse after he went over the hills and disappeared, and I left. About a week later, I came back for that pigeon. It was there all by itself. I wasn't going to go touch that thing.
Remember those little black pigeons always walking on the wall?
Over here.
Speaking of pigeons.
Nito? No, one time I was playing with the shotgun.
Remington.
I was playing with Dad's shotgun. And just nobody was home, and I was just kind of playing with it, looking at it. I was wondering how you clean the gun, you know, I'm looking at it. Look out the back window, and here he comes walking the wall. So we have the door here. I open the door, and I kick the screen door open, I go, I just had the hammer play. Just aim it at him, he'd go head first in the screen.
Don't shoot! Dad, though. Dad's surprised he ain't in handcuffs right now.
Sid, remember the time Mom put us in our room? Because we were sick or something, we were shooting bottle rockets out the window.
No, she sent us to our, she was punishing us. You guys go to your room. So we had that old jet.
Yeah.
We were lighting pop bottle rockets out the window. Mom's punishing us. We would have got away with it if one didn't hit the eave and blow up.
I'll never forget the time I hit a softball into Mom's window. I was playing with, hitting it like this with a bat, and it stuck right in the window. Just stuck. I see Mom look through the window, and the window closes, thinking I'm in trouble now. And I'll fess up, and I walk in there, and I walk in the room, and Mom's laying there reading her book. Never said a thing. She's reading her book. I thought I'm in trouble now, and I walk in there, and she's just sitting there reading her book.
I was telling him, I go, Sid and Pat Hess used to come back after seminary and load pigeons up in their car between seminary and school. And I'd have to look out for them, make sure you weren't watching. He never did that. Man, every other day they were loading up the trunk of the car.
I just never got caught.
Yeah. He never put pigeons and rabbits in the freezer.
Oh, we went to seminary.
Mom, Brent wants to tell you about the austerizer.
You don't want to know.
Just stick a bird in there.
It's the one she mixed up the cheese sauce in.
Something to pull out of birds that's got feathers all over it in here.
I don't know how many times Chris walks into the house with a bird and takes a dump on the carpet. Brendan get a towel and wipe up what he could and then just rub the rest of it in the carpet. So he couldn't see it.
Jan is not laughing, he still does it.
Yeah, and the dead birds, at least they don't have feathers on them anymore, you know. It's just rotten meat that sits there and stinks. I kept thinking, what stinks? You know, I'd cleaned out my refrigerator, I'd cleaned out the freezer, I couldn't figure out what was smelled so bad. And Brent goes, oh, I know what it was, and he'd hidden them in there so I wouldn't find them, you know.
Let's see what it was.
Okay.
We're ready. Okay, let's do it.
Two verses.
Here we go.
Okay.
Third and fourth.
Thing was starving because, you know, he was blind one eye and he'd been shot. So he brings it home. He finally gets it standing up on his glove. And you know better not to go like this. He gets it standing there, you know, and he goes like this, and we go like this. And you hear it going pop, pop, pop right through the glove. Just going like this, you know. I mean, his hand just went like this, you know. His wild throw is so
If
strong.
you move, they just tighten up more.
Tell them about the time we took Maud over to the elementary school.
Yeah, it's for Randy's class.
My class.
Your class. And Mr. Boy's videotaping this, you know, this bird flying down. And the glove get all slick here where the meat had always been and been wet.
Nice choice of word.
What?
Nice choice of word.
Slick?
What were you gonna say?
I didn't know. Anyway, Maud pulls that thing, a whole neck out, you know. She swallows the neck, she's not hungry no more. You only want to eat one vertebrae. And so, and they're good, man. They just ripped that sucker right off. You couldn't break it off. Anyway, she pulls it out, Sid grabs it, goes to pull it down, and Maud reaches up and grabs his hand and pulls it down here like this out of the way while she's swallowing the chicken that is. Just going like this, you know.
That was Mr. Boy taping it.
Mr. Boy, can I do anything to help? Can I do anything to help? Can I do anything to help? Sis says, yeah, shut up.
Did you say that?
Oh,
Yes, he did.
Yeah, we didn't like him when he
You don't
there as
float?
a teacher.
Okay,
So
go
Sometimes we're tough guys.
Yeah, so anyway, we went outdoors and
I
was
bet it
playing.
sell like hotcakes now.
We went outdoors and we was playing and we caught a chicken and took it to the ditch and pumped no end of water in that poor chicken. And it watered off and dropped dead on the floor. We didn't know it was dead. We just thought it was laid down. We found out it was fun doing it, so we caught about a dozen of the darn things. And Daddy came in and he said, Lorena, that was my mother's name. He says, Lorena, he says, I can't imagine what's happened to my chickens. He said, they're all laying out there dead. I guess we kids have drowned them. Everybody gave him
Drowned
an
it.
enema. Oh, did
We just give syringe after syringe full and then turn them loose.
Did you see it coming out of their eyes, Grandma?
Is that when you decided to become a nurse, Grandma? Did any of your patients survive you?
Oh, you betcha.
After all them enemas, they're glad to get out.
That would have grossed me out.
Now, Wanda Drake, is that who you said? That is neat. How much fun. Yeah, we'll take it home.
Take our picture over to her. And who else?
No.
No.
I don't think she has that many children. I can teach people.
Oh, sorry.
Yes?
Do you want to hear about the Osterreiser, Mom?
No.
Andrea.
No?
You're gonna be staying there. Put it in the relief side area, you'll be safe there. Safer.
You had to get a picture of the cake too. Have you seen it in the kitchen?
I brought it
It's prettier now that I put the candles in.
little late.
What you want to do?
Step back 20 feet.
Fire code.
86 feet. 1 foot for each year.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Now everybody but the Cox family, go in the other room. The Cox family should be in here with them.
Hi, we're glad to be here tonight and part of the program to honor Grandma Call's 86th birthday. And it's 1988, Grandma. And we're really happy to celebrate with you. Just before this, we had a nice dinner together and we enjoyed visiting. And now we get to give you some tributes. Before we give the tributes, we're supposed to tell who we are, since everyone knows who you are. We're the Jerry and Margie Cox family. And if you'll raise your hand as I say your name, our children are here with us tonight. Cheryl, raise your hand. Loretta, Stephen, Angela, Tiffany, and Amy back here. We're going to let our married children introduce their children, and then we'll all give a tribute to Grandma. Cheryl, if you'll introduce yours. Stand up, Alexis.
This is Alexis. Say hi. She's 5. Whitney's 3. And Tanner is 1.5. And Don is sick. Badly sick.
Bad sick.
Bad sick.
Loretta, you'll introduce yours.
I have an absent husband at work, so you can't see him. This is Lucas, who's 2. Say hi to the camera. That's Rachel, who's 4. Wave, Rachel. This is Benjamin, who's 6 months.
Thank you, Loretta. Steve.
Okay, I'm Steve. This is my wife, Danielle. And this is our little baby, Julene. She's 2.5 months.
Thank you. Oh, sure. And now Margie will give a little tribute to Grandma, tell some incidents she remembers.
Boy, there's so many to remember. But for myself, the ones that particularly stand out in my mind were in 1957 when she came up to BYU and helped me out for a month or 2 when I had a bad fall. And also, that was one of the pluses of living in Phoenix later on after we were married, because Mother would come down and help us out with the baby. It was worth having babies, just to have Mom come down and help us out. And she always put herself out. Anybody would come down the street and stop and say, can I have a flower for my wife that's in the hospital? She'd gather up all the flowers she could get and make a beautiful bouquet for them. She always put herself out, didn't she, Mother?
Okay, thank you, Margie. Cheryl, would you like to give us some of your memories of Grandma?
Yeah, I remember Grandma always having to need something at the grocery store and just always having enough money, 8 cents, so I could get a candy bar. You liked Almond Joy, I liked Mounds. We buy candy bars. But I also remember that we could go in your bedroom if we were sleeping over at 3 or 4 in the morning, we'd find you reading. You were always reading. Always reading.
Watching TV.
Yeah, we could always count on food at your house. Cheetos and
Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
Wheat Thins.
Yes, oh yes. And
7-Up.
Yeah, 7-Up and French vanilla ice cream. Vanilla French.
about you, Loretta?
Well, I remember that Grandma used to say I made a good window because I always sat between her and the TV so she could never see it. And I do remember one other thing. I think the reason why I like foot massages so much is because I always watched Grandpa Carl give Grandma foot massages all the time. So we're trying to train dentists to do the same thing.
Good luck. Steve?
I always remember we could get hamburger patties anytime we wanted. All of Grandpa's leftovers. Double hamburgers, yeah.
With cheese.
And cheese. And that whenever Grandma wanted a special cut of meat, she would always go back in the butcher's meat room and show him which cut she wanted. So she would go back in there.
But your jumbo breaded shrimp were the best. I remember your jumbo breaded shrimp. Those were the best.
And potato salad.
Oh, yes.
And steaks.
Yes.
Salad.
Oh, I'm getting hungry.
Beans.
And we could always leave at your house whenever we wanted. You always let us come.
And you always let us eat the dough while you were making the bread. Even if we had to sneak.
That's right. And she'd always call us up and she'd say, oh, I've made a lot of stuff.
Even if we had to sneak.
That's right. And she'd always call us up and she'd say, oh, I've made a lot of stuff. She'd say, I've got some left over. You've got to help me out. Please come in and get some.
We forced ourselves.
I remember Grandma's rose garden, and I remember that. and I remember Grandma's story about the watermelons, how the farmer saw her stealing the watermelons one time, and so he went out and came up behind her and helped her to her car or someone's car with the watermelons. I thought that was
helped her pick out a good one.
And she's always noticing how beautiful the clouds are. That's a good trait.
Tiffany?
Oh, yeah, I remember going over to Grandma's house when I or me and Amy would sleep over there. And I remember Grandma always coming in right as we were going to sleep and asking us if we needed anything or if we wanted anything more. And I always remember her coming in the morning and asking if we wanted something.
And you always gave.
And we always did, yeah.
Amy?
Tanner.
I remember stepping into Grandma's house and smelling bacon or something like that cooking. Yeah, sausage and bacon cooking. But most of the time it was cooked and in the freezer, but
She always had ice cream.
yeah.
With chocolate sauce. A variety of ice cream.
Well, we just want to tell Grandma we love you and we appreciate all you've done for us, Grandma.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll...
All right, I'm Ricky Mill, and this is Anita, and that's Terry, and Brian, and Sandy, and Mark, and here's Grandma, and Maurice, and Susan, and Darwin, and Kim. And we will just kind of let them introduce their children, and then we'll make some comments. So let's start with Brian and Terry, and we'll go around this way.
Tara's my oldest daughter. She's on the front row. Very good, Tara. This is Carrie Anna. Look at the camera and smile. This is Michelle. And this is our youngest, Danielle.
Okay.
This is my good wife, Sandy, here. And our oldest boy is Andrew. Andrew, would you raise your hand there? The 13-year-old is going on 18. The next one is Lauren. Lauren, why don't you raise your hand there? So everybody's raising their hand. Then we go to Amanda. And next we have Vance. After Vance, we have Aaron. They won't let, oh, there's Aaron with two hands up, okay? And here's Mitchell, our oldest. Right?
Mitchell.
There's Mitch, okay, that's all. I'm Maurice, this is my wife, Susan. We have 5 children. Becky's the one down here hiding. Becky, sit up.
With the red face.
Yes, and that's Dana. Dana, stand up, sit up. Or shut up. Raise your hand, Stephen. Michael, now you can raise your hand. Raise your hand. And Jacob.
We have Nathan on her lap. And Kimberly. Raise your hand, Kimberly. She's the one with curly hair. Okay, then there's Sarah and Brittany.
Raise your hand.
I just want to start out with a serious note. And my whole life, the most important thing to me is my family. And Mom and Dad made our family a delight. They gave us love and security. And to me, that's the most important thing in my whole life. And now my most important goal in life is to keep us together as a family and pass on what they gave us to our family so we can all be together and continue our large family unit for time and eternity.
Along with love and delight, there was steady and
There was the physical along with the spiritual. And
I guess I probably have known Marge and Rena and Udell longer than any of the son-in-laws or daughters-in-laws, because Anita and I started dating when we were sophomores in high school, and we never did go steady. We just didn't go with anybody else. And so as a consequence, I had my share of Sunday dinners and felt very much like the family. I don't ever recall of going over there or being around them that I didn't feel like I was part of the family. And because of that, of course, they set a tremendous example for us. And so I had the choice, blessings of knowing them both very well. In fact, I had occasions to go on trips with them. On one particular trip, I remember Udell coming over and asking me if I wanted to go to the Rose Parade with him. And I was working for a company selling clothing, and I told Udell I didn't think I could get off. And so that next day, he was over at my boss and talking to him, and of course he got me off. And I thought, gee, that's strange that he would want me to go so bad, until I went out to check the car over. He wanted me to drive, so I thought I ought to check it over. And when I started it up, it was knocking so bad that then I knew why he wanted me to go. In case that thing didn't make it, he wanted somebody that could fix it. And so I was so concerned about the way that thing was knocking, I decided I'd better take it down at the shop and put 40 weight oil in it to at least get some cushion between those rod bearings and the crankshaft. But anyway, like all of the things with the family, everything has a way of working out great, and the car ran great. We had a great parade, and Udell was a joker, and Grandma always backed him up, and so we always had a real good time.
Well, some of my memories are Saturday afternoon. Some of the funnest times we had were with our cousins, go over and visit Grandma. She always had some change for us to go down to MacKay Drug and buy some candy, some soda pop, or sometimes she'd send us to the movie. And some of the special things that I remember is that Grandma taught us how to have fun and enjoy ourselves. And she always made us feel welcome at her home. And she was always optimistic and fun to be around. And those are the feelings and memories that I have that are the most vivid.
I'll back Brian up in what he just said. Grandma would do anything to get us as grandchildren and her children to come over and visit. And her main bribe was food. She had a freezer full of steak and shrimp and always had real butter that we never had at home to bribe us to come over. We had to sometimes fight our way to get through the neighborhood to get to her house. I can remember riding over one day on a bicycle and getting knocked off my bike with a brick by one of her neighbors, and then being chased by the fire department after I set fire to the desert in back of her house. But we never let anything deter us. We always wanted to go over there, especially on Saturdays, because she would take us to the movies quite often. And all of the cousins, she'd have 40 little ducks waddling along behind her going to the theater.
I just like to say I was one of the ducks.
We were luckiest because we lived closest to Grandma, and I can remember a lot of times going in the bedroom and locking the door and calling Grandma up and saying, Grandma, would you please call Mom and tell her that you want me to spend the night? And I'd have all my clothes packed out on the bed, I'd have the bag ready, I'd have the bike parked in front of the door, and my big challenge was to see if after I got the nod from Mom on the phone, to see if I could get to Grandma's house before she got off the phone with Mom. And that was my big challenge in life. But each individual grandchild felt so important to Grandma and Grandpa. They made you feel like you were the most important thing in the whole world to them. And that was such a big influence on my life growing up and on all the grandkids. Just to know that you were loved so much that Grandma would say to us, whatever mine is yours, and she meant it. And that was such a big influence to all of us to have that security of not only our parents, but our grandparents too.
We might have cute grandchildren.
And speaking of the movie, I just want to tell one other thing that was funny. One time there was about 20 of us at the Huntridge Theater. And I don't know if anybody else remembers this, but it was a Christmas movie, and they were having sponsors for the movie. And so they had different companies in town sponsoring this. So-and-so wishes you Merry Christmas. And all of a sudden, one of Grandpa's competitors' name came on the screen, and 2 rows of people started booing right in the movie theater, hissing, booing, yeah.
I remember when we were smaller, whenever we saw Grandma, she would let us look in her purse. She always has a treat.
This is the Ring Call family, #1 offspring of this lovely little girl to my right. And
one family.
we would like you to know that we, all of us, have a great love for our grandma and my mother. And in honor of this very special occasion, we have composed a song, one that we're on the verge of recording.
Stop reading the cue card.
But anyhow, here it is. Everybody ready? 1.
Okay.
Our grandma called, could she play ball? With her help, all things would fall. None were so classy as this fair lassie. Oh, oh, play ball, she looked so flashy. Lucky grandma, finding grandma. Up by Logan, hip hooray and lottie-dottie, was a cute belle. No wonder Udell fell in love with that girl. One day Udell called in Logan's snowfall, took a girl for a ride. He drove with such care, he wasn't aware. Oh, oh, she could really handle her, taking the reins. She swerved the sled, 'twasn't Grandma, holding her and covering her head. Oh, you knew Margie, oh, you knew Margie. Oh, what a girl.
And I'm not doing this again.
I want you to know we practiced that.
We still haven't got
15 times. And I felt very confident, but I still messed it up. So I'll take the blame. My fault, that didn't turn out.
That was good, though.
Well, then you can sing it now.
Sing a solo.
So no, we can hear it.
Listen to Grandma, always put me on the spot. That's been my life, ever since the beginning. Put me on the spot and making me what I am today.
How much time did everybody take?
I think we're over right about now.
We're doing fine. This is a new role. We have 9 hours that we can devote to our little segment right here. Okay. What we would like to say, once again, that we're very happy that we have the posterity here handed down from Grandma. As you can see,
if Grandma and Grandpa knew what they had started, they might have had others. No, they wouldn't. They'd have still done the same thing the way they did. Right, Mother? Right, Mother?
Oh, yeah.
Good. I would like to say, first of all, since I have the floor, quiet, that growing up in Mother's house and Father's house was a really an enjoyable experience. I don't remember making too many beds or doing too many dishes, but none. K&L, is that right?
That's his problem.
I can't remember doing one of each. So anyhow, I had some very lovely sisters that took care of that for me. And I felt like a king in the house. And anyhow.
It's sure been hard to live up to that.
I've learned to do dishes, and I've learned to make beds since I've been married to that lovely little girl right there.
I wish you could see the one he made today.
Anyhow, we're supposed to say some things that we remember about our grandma. I remember about my grandmother, the unselfishness that she always exhibited.
Your grandmother.
She'll always be my grandmother. No, my little grandmother, Anna, she was something else. And I hope she's not rolling over when I'm saying this about my mother, but anyhow, she was a wonderful little girl. And when she lived with us, it was a real pleasure. And anyhow, getting back to what I remember about Mother, we're supposed to express something that we remember about her. The thing I remember is the unselfishness that she always exhibited. When all of her family had moved to Provo, it was Mother and Father who bought a new Hudson. Boy, those were really good cars. Traveled 115 on the road. I remember he got us to and from Provo in great style. But anyhow,
115.
But anyhow, this was their example of unselfishness. And while we were riding around that nice new car, they were riding around two in an old beat-up truck. And I remember that whenever we needed something, whenever we wanted something, all we had to do was indicate it. For some reason or other, it always showed up. It was there. We're supposed to introduce our family. Now, since I've been talking so much and I was watching the floor mat on how this was handled, I'll let my wife introduce our family. I don't remember the names. Go ahead. He's out of breath.
All right. Sherda isn't with us tonight, and her husband Stephen. They're 3 children, but we do have Monica, who is a daughter of Cynthia and Mark, and she has a baby brother called Mason. And this is my daughter, Sharma. My son Clayton, that's been doing such beautiful pictures of the temple, and Curtis. Can they see you back there? Curtis Call and Cynthia Call. I already introduced you. Oh, no, I said brother.
Roland.
Cynthia Call Roland and Mark Roland holding the baby.
Who are here?
Corey, Deborah, and Cam. Oh, Corey, Deborah, and Cammy are in Ogden, and we hope that they are getting filmed up there in Ogden with Geneva's family. And Celia is missing tonight also. So maybe you'll try to catch them another time. Will you be able to do that? One of the things that I thought was really funny that happened to me, I had 3 children at the time, and Sherda was just a little baby, and I got a jury summons. And I went to the jury, and they were ready to pick all the jurors, and I was being questioned. And I didn't really want to be on the jury because I felt like I needed to be home with my little child. So I used that as an excuse as to why I felt that I shouldn't be a jury member. And it just happened that there was a Judge Marshall who knew Grandma and Grandpa really well. So when I said that I had this fairly young child, that I felt I should stay home and attend, Judge Marshall said, are Margie and Udell call your in-laws? And I said, yes, Judge, Your Honor. And he said, well, I just know that Margie Call would love to tend your child.
She was on the jury, yeah.
So I got on the jury.
And Grandma baby fit?
Pardon?
And did Mother baby?
And Mother babysat, did the marvelous job she always did. But I thought that was the type of reputation Grandma had all over, that she would love to be around her grandchildren, and that was always the case.
Go next.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Clayton.
Well, I've got something to add to that. The one thing that all us older grandkids remember the most about Grandma was the way she and Grandpa used to get rid of us when they wanted to get us out of their hair. They used to give us money to go to the movie. And then after the movie, we'd always come back and she'd have steaks cooking for us, which was quite nice. Steaks and potatoes and mushrooms and corn. One of those days gonna come back, Grandma. One of those days gonna come back.
When your father can afford them.
I'll go next. I'll go next. Okay, I'll go next. I like her stories. She tells the best stories. My favorite ones are when she was playing baseball with the boys when she was younger, and she could out-hit them and out-pitch them or whatever. And how she'd always say, and me and Angie went up to her and we asked what she would say to guys when she didn't want to go out with them, and she'd say, I just told them, no. I think, what an example, I wish I could do that. Hold on, no. I have to excuse me.
It's my turn.
It's my turn.
One thing I remember about Grandma Call is how we could lay on her lap and she'd just sit and tickle our face. And it felt so good. And I remember her yummy Swedish pancakes.
Oh, yes.
And sleeping over at her house. That was a fun part. And there's so many things, I can't name them all. But I remember having good times with Grandma and eating those Swedish pancakes.
And the snowman she'd
Oh,
make.
the snowman
She'd make
pancakes.
faces and
Kitty cats too. She
Kitty
would make
cats.
shapes out of the pancakes.
She was
Can't
awesome.
get Swedish pancakes.
You're
anymore
awesome,
that you
Grandma.
wade
What can we
through.
say? You're awesome. You're
Monica,
terrific.
Did you want to say something?
Oh yeah, she'd always give me bear hugs.
Say that louder.
She'd always give me bear hugs.
A good bear hug.
Yes, she would. Mason has a few words
You
to
just
say.
said it for me.
Mark, do you remember anything your grandparents ever said when you started going with Cynthia?
Yeah, but we can't put it on tape.
We can. Bleepity.
What was that?
Are you in?
Get ready to
Am I in the
censor.
picture now? When I first started dating Cynthia, and my grandfather, Gene Christian and Udell, did business years ago, and my grandfather immediately found when I was dating Cynthia, he was so surprised, so happy that I was finally dating somebody that was really worthwhile. No, haha. But anyway, my grandfather went to Udell's house and just ecstatic and really happy that my grandson Mark is dating a call girl, Cynthia. He was so happy, this and that. Later on, Cynthia got interviewed by Udell about who to date, what not to do, and this and that.
About dating non-LDS.
Soon after we were married, and I'm a convert, so. But that's really all I know about Udell, and I didn't have much to see much at all, except occasionally like this.
I have a minor case of memory loss. And one of the main things I remember about Grandma was some pancakes. At that time, not much more interested me more than food. And if I kept going the way I was, I probably would look like my dad by now, but luckily I caught it. So I've got the great bod that I have.
I remember also how we used to fight over who got to put the lotion on Grandma's feet.
Yes, I remember that. Tradition was handed down to the younger generation too. No, it's my turn, it's my turn. Grandma, will you sit down and let me rub your feet?
I guess that's all. Thank you.
Put lights on.
I'd like to introduce Grandma Call here, the leader of the pack. Next to her is her...
Lights on.
I'd like to introduce Grandma Call here, the leader of the pack. Next to her is her great daughter, Gaynell, my wonderful wife. And
True.
we had a bunch. Greatest kids in the world. I'll start out with, well, before we get the married ones, let's get Brenda over here. Raise your hand, Brenda.
Her birthday is August 30th.
Birthday.
Cake ice cream.
Yeah, that's right, cake and ice cream. Okay, we have Charlene over here.
Not her baby.
The baby of the family. Randy's on his mission. And then we have Dennis, the oldest son. Dennis, will you introduce your family?
Okay, this is my wife Jolene. This is Kyle in the yellow shirt. And Kirk. Chad, over here, probably out of the picture. And Chris is over here on the floor next to Kirk. And this is Chase.
Okay, Sid.
I'm Sid, this is my wife Dawn, Jason our oldest, and Sherry, and Shannon between them, and this is Davis.
Okay, Brett.
I'm Brent. This is my wife Janet. This is Amber. Stick your hand up. That's Hannah.
That's Hannah Gaynell.
Hannah Gaynell. This is Carrie.
Okay, and then we have Greg.
I'm Gregory Udell. And this is my wife Andrea.
And where's your kids? Introduce your kids.
Where's the 10 kids?
You know where his kids are. They're sitting on the
This
couch
is
over
the
there.
only grandchild Grandpa called by his full name, Gregory Udell. And Royce is home with his wife. They have 6 children.
6 children?
Ill.
Bill.
Yeah, and then little Randy's on his mission, so we miss him. Little Randy. He's as big as you are. Okay. Now, we'd like you to remember some good things you remember about Grandma. Speak up when you talk about them. We'd like to have you remember some of the things when you were little kids, you know, some of those things that happened in your life as you grew up that might have happened between you and Grandpa and Grandma.
One of the things I remember the most is we used to fight over who got to sleep over to Grandma's house on the weekends. And I remember she'd give us things to do around the house. We could dust the piano for a dime or vacuum for a dime. And we'd do these, and I'm sure we didn't do a very good job of them, but we'd do these things and Grandma'd give us money, and off the store we go. If there wasn't work to be done, we'd go through her Reader's Digest catalogs and cut out 10-cent off coupons. And Grandma would make a list of the things that we came up with coupons and send us over to the store to buy them. And then we'd get the money back from the coupons to buy candy with.
I remember whenever you're sick during school, you'd expect to go to Grandma's house. That's part of being sick. And if you didn't get to go, you was disappointed.
Whenever we used to love when we'd get to go to Reams to get our teeth worked on, because Mom would always take us over for a good meal before we went to get our teeth worked on.
I remember going over there, and as soon as you get there, she'd take your clothes off and wash them for you. So we always ran around in Grandpa's his thermal underwear and stuff, his red shirts, running around. Things come down to about your knees. Remember that? I remember eating over there breakfast, the main meal. It lasted for about 2 hours. Start off with eggs and bacon and ham and Swedish pancakes and stacks of pancakes and everything else. Hot chocolate, toast.
I remember Grandma yelling and honking the horn at all the crazy men drivers. Oh, okay. One day we were, Mom and Dad, I think we're in either Texas or California with Brenda, and we were supposed to stay at Grandma's, and Mom and Dad had a Ford Falcon that ran some of the time. And Grandma was driving that. She came to pick us up from school. And we got on Charleston, just headed towards Grandma's house, just by... Anyway, where the steakhouse used to be. And I think Grandma was used to driving Grandpa's Valiant that had the clutch and the stick shifts, and Mom and Dad's car was an automatic. And she started off through the light, and as she went to the light, I don't know exactly what she did. I think she hit the brakes thinking she was shifting and jammed it up into park. And the car just stood up on the end, and kids were flying over, hitting the dashboard. And we were all laughing so hard, nobody got hurt. The car stalled right in the intersection, and the car just went over to the side after she got it started.
Grandma was always fun to take trips with. I can remember one time when she and I went to California for one of Hal's girls' weddings. And instead of going directly to Hal's house, we went and got a motel. And then we went to the wedding, and then after the temple wedding, then we went back to the motel. And we took a shower and just relaxed, and we showed up for the wedding reception about an hour late. And Aunt Virginia was so mad she wanted to know where we were. She had a whole bunch of things she wanted Mother to do for her.
I used to repair the television set. Every once in a while I get a call on the phone, or else Gabe called me at work. She said, Lowell, we're eating over at Mom's tonight. She said, make sure you bring your tools. So either we were invited over there if the television set wasn't working to have dinner, or I'd go over there and fix it. And then the next night or so they'd say, you wanted over for dinner. They always felt like they had to pay me for it. I kept telling them no. But always that way. They always had a big dinner.
I remember Grandma's pretty yard. All the pretty flowers. The lawn was always the greenest on the block. The trees were always the nicest. And I remember going over to Grandma's house, and Grandma would be all hot and sweaty because she'd been out in the yard working all day. She was always complaining because she did so much, but it wasn't the kind of stuff anybody would notice, so everybody would think she didn't do anything all day.
I remember, like Sid said, being given odd jobs to do so we could be given money. In the summertime, we didn't wear anything, I think, but shorts. And Grandma would tell us she'd give us a dime if we'd rake all the leaves in the yard. And we'd rake them all up, and she'd pay us. And before we picked them up, and we'd run over to the store. I remember running across that parking lot, standing in the shade on the street light shadows so our feet could rest from burning, and then run the rest away, and then we'd come back, and then we'd plane the leaves and scatter them all back all over again.
And then the calls would come over and she'd pay the calls to rake them up.
She never just gave them a quarter. She always gave them a quarter plus tax so that they could always...
That's right.
Always
gave us
support.
tax.
I remember our feet would be so dirty from walking barefoot. Grandma would make us go out on the grass, and she'd hose the grass down and make us wipe our feet on the grass to get all the black off our feet.
Then, did anybody say anything in the other ones about Grandma when she was watching the license plates?
No.
I remember when we were little, there was some people moved in across the street and they had cars over there all the time in and out. And I remember Grandma, we didn't really know exactly at first why, but she'd send us out and tell us to get the license number of the cars. And so we'd go out there and be playing along, and we'd remember a number, run in and tell her, and come back out and get another number and go back in and tell her. We kept getting the license numbers of these cars. And then sometimes you'd come in and Grandma would be looking out the kitchen window with these little pop-up binoculars, looking at the cars, getting the license numbers. And I guess they had some drug problems over there, and the police department would ask her to keep track of the license plates. So she would send us out there to get the license plate number so she could keep a record of them. Hope we didn't get some of the wrong people in trouble.
She had a direct line to the district attorney's office.
I remember when we used to go home after dinner on Sunday nights or something like that, we'd all say, come here, Grandma, I want to give you a kiss, and we'd grab her hand, And my dad would start driving down the street, we'd all hang on to her, and Grandma would keep running down the street with us.
And she'd always give us a little bag of cookies, each one of us to take home too.
Or Cheetos,
Potato
graham crackers.
chips.
Cheetos.
Yeah.
I told Mother once that I couldn't have had 8 children and lived in a different town, and I really meant that.
I started.
Now it's on.
No, it's on.
Dennis?
There's a red light in front.
I don't remember saying that.
All cameras have red lights in front.
Well, I want you to know that I felt really bad one time because when Dennis got married and I was so proud to have a daughter-in-law, and he said he was going to bring Jolene down here, he wanted her to learn how to cook, and he was going to take her right over to Grandma's house. Not mine.
Well, Dennis, before we got married, he told me I had to come down and meet his family, or that I got to come down and meet his family. And I was a little nervous about that. And he said I was going to be staying at his grandma and grandpa's house, and I thought, oh, wow, that is going to be awkward. And after I got here, I went to the front door, and geez, Grandma came right up and gave me a kiss and a hug, and I mean, that's the first time I'd ever seen her. And I knew as soon as I walked in the door, I didn't have to worry about feeling awkward anymore. She wanted to know what I wanted to eat. She says, just anything, anything you want. What would you like to eat? And that hit my spot right there. I knew I was going to love her to death after that. But they made me really feel comfortable. I might add my best bouquet of flowers when I had any of my babies was the bouquet that came from Grandma's house. Dennis came to visit me, and I thought, oh boy, you know, it sure be nice to have some flowers. So he brings in these flowers, and he says, Grandma made me bring these. But it's a big bouquet of flowers from Grandma's yard.
She always came up with a beautiful bouquet out of a garden that didn't have anything left in it.
Whenever I had a date, I'd always go to Grandma's house first. She'd give me one of her vases, and she'd make a nice little arrangement of flowers and roses and everything else, and I could take them over to my dates and hand them to them. Didn't cost me a penny. Oh.
PCR while you were there too, isn't it?
Oh, man.
All of them.
Stop it.
They all been showing you taking me all the one night.
Who's that?
Turn on the light. Man in the house next door just come out of the shower. He had the light on and he had his blinds open and he was stark naked. Instead of just, you know, dropped. She said he dropped to the floor as quick as he could. A lady that she even knew.
Yeah.
Last night I got a call to a trailer, and what it was, this girl was testifying against another guy for an assault and petty larceny charge. All of them were juveniles, you know, 15, 16, 17 years old. And this girl was really terrified of this guy because he threatened her, said he'd kill her, all this kind of stuff. And they thought, these girls saw this guy and a couple other guys in their trailer park, so they were really scared. So I arrived way before my backup is. So I walked up trying to make sure I hit the right trailer, because the trailer, some are numbered, some aren't, they're all numbered 20. And I find the right trailer, parking.
So I see him checking out the window, and so I moved to the end of the trailer so they couldn't see me when I was looking out the side window. Well, I'm standing right by the main window and then the trailer, and I see someone pull the curtains and look out.
Oh, we gotta leave.
No, I don't know if she would count that.
I know he was.
Did you work at Master TV too?
Yeah, that's where it's the family. Don't know. Now. Oh, there's Gay now. Hi.
I saw a plane down there.
Nathan? Jason? There, now we see the plane come in. Here's Megan.
Jolene's looking for you. Jolene said she dropped you off the wrong place, so she went back and looked for
Don't, Trisha. Don't.
You know where she is?
Shannon. Mommy, where's Daddy going? They're coming sure. I just look what I got. Exactly
I'll come down to you. Just stuck on my pens and pencils.
Be careful, Sarah, okay?
Well, hi, Jolene. You didn't see Jolene.
There's the toothless girl. Here's Amber. And here's Sherry. No teeth. Nice to see her teeth. Very nice, Trish.
Mommy, 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 Mommy. You know what? Amber.
I just took a picture. I got time with the grand. Yeah, it was 11. Hit Kelly up.
I know, Brittany. All the rest of the kids have Facebook. Jolene, don't forget Shay.
He needs to be out front. He gets always so inspired.
that? Come over here and stand by these guys. Hurry, quick, Jen is here. Oh, hurry, come get you. Stand still.
Oh, you move. Oh, you move.
Hurry, it's right there. Brent, move.
Smile.
Everybody's frown. Everybody frown. You too, Hannah. Frown. Frown.
Good boy. Good airplane.
Just breathe. Don't
Yeah.
camera's not working.
Everybody look over here for just a second.
Go over to Carol.
Stick your tongue down.
Where's your kids down? That's a good one.
Let me stand up on the table.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it, Gladys. I'll watch it. I can see him. That one right there. You see? Hold it. Hold it. There we go. He does have a special look about him.
As a reminder from now, there is no smoking in our plane. So we're going to smoke together for the area. And also the rest of the
Get pictures of this.
I'll stick around for a while, okay?
See it? Granddaddy, he's not excited. Okay? I didn't bring it
No, I waited. I sat up front. You got a camera.
Did I get a hug? Oh, that's great. Hey, I'm sorry.
That's Lois. Megan and Anita. You remember Brittany?
Yeah.
This is my daughter Sarah.
How are you?
There's Susan. I don't know if you remember Nathan. What was that? Nathan's pretty so. I don't know.
Oh, that was good. Let's do it again. Stay there. That was again.
Okay, this is what I'm going to play before we start.
And I'll start just like you do in primary. Okay? Are you ready?
want to do it one more time? Okay, let's do it one more time. I can't. Shout loud. That's all right. Oh, you shout loud. Here, so that you can see really good, okay? And that everyone can see you. What are you doing? You ready? Carrie. I can start like when it rains. A little. Just go out. A little. Oh, okay. Okay. You ready? Go on. Everybody stand up.
Okay, here's the introduction again.
And there's Stacy.
Carrie's hiding. Oh, good. Here, you missed this one, Don. Stand right there. You get a milk? Here. Stand with Hannah.
Hey guys, not on the furniture.
Let me stand down. I'm sorry, Don. Kyle and Kurt. No.
I'm gonna leave. They make well, no, this is my birthday.
Hi, Grandma and Grandpa. This is my family. This is the baby, Carrie.
Say hi, Carrie.
Hi. She's the active one. Huh. This is Hannah. Say hi, Hannah. And this is, oh, Hannah.
Carrie getting down.
This is Carrie getting down. The active one. My wife. This is me.
Well, come here. Can you tell me about her Nellie?
You go first.
You can't edit this, right?
Well, anyway. Our kids love each other. Well, what are we doing? I was talking about the time we went to Lagoon once. I remember you telling us first one to wake up from a nap, I was going to take a nap, and after that was going to go to Lagoon. And you said the first one to wake up gets to go to Lagoon. Gets to have an ice cream cone, and the rest don't. So we all laid down there for a little while. Said, well, I'm awake, I'm awake. But you guys wouldn't buy it. And then I remember waking up and Sid's in there eating an ice cream cone. And Sid's away behind the chair and laid down and went to sleep while the rest of us were trying to pull your leg. And then that one time we went to Lagoon, I remember Dennis took us up there and then dropped us off and went back and got Carol when he wasn't supposed to. Brought her back. Whoops. I think Dennis is home.
Well,
I want you guys to know that we really love you. As convenient it was for Grandpa when he's down here, it was nice to be able to be around Grandma. We had some good times with Grandma when she was down here, and Grandpa kind of missed out, but had fun. Grandma was like one of the kids.
She always has been.
What's that?
She didn't grow up in 2 ways.
How's that? Oh.
oh.
Dad says you're short, Grandma. Well, we'll see you guys later. Take care of yourself.
Bye, Grandma.
Bye, Grandpa.
We're going to do all verses. You know okay, you ready?
The more stories that my teachers tell to me, all about the Laban nights in ancient history. Long ago our fathers came from far across the sea. In this land they lived righteously. Roma was rebellious.
over already?